Welcome, everybody. Well, what a disappointing, crushing defeat that was. Man, so much hope only to be snatched from the jaws of victory. And yeah, it's a tough one. So I'm going to do a quick video here just to give my immediate reactions, and then I will do a breakdown on my channel for some offensive and defensive highlights that I kind of picked out, highlights, lowlights, if you will, to really dive deeper into this game. But I just want to give my initial reaction right now, which is it's a tough loss. It's a tough loss because we were so close, but it's also a tough loss because the Fever shot better than the Atlanta Dream. And if it was a 2, if it was a 3, the Fever just shot better. You look here, 29 for 68 from 2, 8 for 30 for the Dream from 3. Meanwhile, they shot 26% from 3. It felt like better, and it felt like they were shooting better because they were making so many hard shots, but they were just getting lots of shots. Meanwhile, we shot 33 for 68, so same amount of 2s, but we shot better. And then from 3, we were 8 for 17. So we made more 2s, we made more 3s. We were within striking distance, game on the line. But what lost it for us was the free throws. They made 25 of 32. We made 16 of 26. We missed 10 free throws in this game. Tasha Howard goose egged 0 for 4. Aaliyah Boston missed the one at the end. I don't blame her. She was laying it all out on the line, man. She was getting up her knees almost after every drive to the hoop, just rising to try to carry this team on her back across the finish line. And I don't blame her for missing one. Going for 6 for 7. Great. Kelsey Mitchell was 4 for 4. Caitlin Clark had an uncharacteristic missed 2. Lexi Hall missed 2. And it's just frustrating because the game did come down to free throws. It came down to our ability to make free throws, which is just a fundamental skill that everyone on this team should be at least half decent at. But it feels like more and more that, especially in Natasha Howard's case, she's kind of becoming the Shaq of our team. If opposing teams are going to be able to later in the game just foul her, send her to the line, and we're not going to get points out of it. And that's a scary proposition because I like the other things that defensively that Natasha Howard can bring, but it was not her night tonight. In fact, DeWanna Bonner had a very quiet night tonight. Natasha Howard had a visibly rough night, and it felt like everybody else that was kind of our offseason pickups just kind of didn't show up tonight. But meanwhile, the big 3 plus Lexi Hall, they showed up. They showed up. 24 points for Aaliyah Boston, 24 points for Kelsey Mitchell, 27 points for Caitlin Clark, 11 assists. Aaliyah Boston had 4 assists. Kelsey Mitchell had 2 assists. Aaliyah Boston was the only one that felt like she could really give Brittany Griner trouble, which props to Brittany Griner. But for the love of all that is holy in this game, defensively, it took us so long to front her. And I don't know why, because Brittany Griner, yes, she's old. Those knees are dusty. And you could tell later in quarters that she starts to miss because of it. But man, when she gets the ball, she just has such a soft touch, and she's done those moves so many times that she's really efficient. She shot 61%. I think at one point she was almost up to 80% against us. And then down the stretch, we started fronting her. We started causing her to miss a few. And I could see changes, but they were too late. Natasha Howard, and yes, they were being smart and finding ways to get her to front our defense, but man, it was brutal. And Brianna Jones, what a momentum killer she was. Early game, she was making everything, it felt like. And then they actually went to her late in the game with the travel because she was performing so well against us and was being so automatic as well. And it's just really tough to see this. Alicia Gray shot terrible tonight. And that's, again, a testament to that a lot of times she was the one up mugging Caitlin Clark for most of the game. The fact that Caitlin Clark got 27 points while literally having people breathing in her ear for most of this game is incredible. I mean, obviously we know she's amazing, but again, Kelsey Mitchell, Leah Boston, Caitlin Clark, played out of their minds. Lexi Hull gave a huge effort, shot 50%. I don't really blame her for this game, but man, like we're so close, so close, so close. And so here's the thing: is like I think elephant in the room is I'm up front. We should have made our free throws. Period. But it is unacceptable to me that in 2025, after the year of 2024 of terrible refereeing, that Stephanie White has to use two challenges in like what felt like the first quarter to correct obviously bad calls. Obviously bad calls where the ball was just given to the Dream. When Brittany Griner clearly is slapping it out of bounds, our player isn't retrieving it. And then the other one where Dewana Bonner is almost being freaking chop blocked and getting her knees blown out by Coffee. And it's just like this, it's unacceptable to me that we can be this bad and that the rules don't protect teams like this where you're blowing obvious calls and we have to use our challenges, our lifelines to correct your mistakes, and you're still going to make mistakes later in the game and we can't do anything about it. There's just like a proven incompetence at work here that just frustrates me and irks me. On top of the fact that they did get to shoot 6 more free throws and it evened out a lot towards the end of the game. At one point I think it was like 11 to 20s or something. And thank goodness it slowed down a little bit. But boy howdy, I just, man, the end of the game, and this is the reality. Again, you can talk about how bad the reffing is and all that kind of stuff, but the Fever fought through it, and with 10 seconds left to go, a little under 10 seconds, they had destiny in their hands. They were down by 1. They were down by 1. It was 91 to 90. Down by 1. Destiny's in their hands. They have the ability to win this game. And I felt like I was having a flashback where Caitlin Clark is on the sideline inbounding the ball. And we draw up a play. And in my head, I'm like, okay, well, if it's not Caitlin Clark, then let's do Aaliyah Boston or let's do Kelsey Mitchell. They're the people that I trust. They're the players that are shooting the best in this game. They're shooting. Let's look at Aaliyah Boston, almost 70% from field goal range. Kelsey Mitchell, 60%. Caitlin Clark, 45%. 45% from freaking 3. Kelsey Mitchell, 66%. Now, low sample size, but still. These should be the people that are taking the final shot to decide your fate. And what do? We run a screen action play trying to be cute that they'll never see coming, where Natasha Howard dives towards the hoop. They front it. They guard it. They block Natasha Howard. And then even after that, Natasha Howard recovers the ball and gets a jump shot. A second chance, a wide open look, misses it. They rebound. Game's done. And Aaliyah Boston's face at the end of this game, her face, she looked like she wanted to cry. I almost wanted to cry for her because she laid so much on the line to bring this team to the precipice. And it ended in a loss. And, I'm sure that there will be, and I want to be honest, like, I don't want to any hate sent towards Natasha Howard or Dewana Bonner. If you're going to make that comment, just save it. Players have tough games, and Natasha Howard does bring good things to our team, but this was just an all-time rough game, and she's going to beat herself up way more than we're going to beat her up. I can guarantee you that. And if she's not taking a full day of shooting free throws, then man, that's a liability. Ultimately, I think that this is one of those hard for the players. It's going to be one of those, like, it's hard to sleep nights where you're going to be replaying everything in your head and wondering how it went wrong and how you lost this game. Stephanie White, the coaching staff, I'm sure they're going to beat themselves up about this one. But you know what? The way to make it up to us, the way to make it up to yourselves is just go on Thursday, go to Atlanta and beat the brakes off them. We know that the team is better. We know that, once we get Sophie Cunningham back as well, I think that this team's going to perform better. And it's going to be a different ball game the second go around. So I still believe in the Fever. This is a tough one to take, and I'm sure it's hard for the players. But until then, until I release my breakdowns of the defense and offense in this game to kind of maybe shed some light on how we might exploit the dream in the future, remember that you're going to be amazing today because you are amazing. And I'll catch you next episode.